been many people reading the old Epstein files that have been now released by the government, and it has us asking a lot of questions. One of the questions I wasn't prepared to hear was this right here. Why are there so many equal signs throughout these emails? Like, what the heck is going on? Why is the spacing all goofy? Confidential's T becomes an equal sign? Information's O becomes an equal sign? The Y in property becomes an equal sign? Why? Well, there's a reason behind it, and the best part is, it might just be Microsoft's fault. I've never been more excited. This is just so good. Nothing but bugs and viruses in the old Windows, am I right? All right, to understand why there's these equal signs, the first thing you need to understand is RFC 2045, which comes from November 1996, the Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extensions, or MIME. Yes, MIME. You've probably seen this if you've done any developing, especially for the web. You've seen this thing called MIME type floating around. Well, it's from this RFC. This is the origins. Anyways, way down inside this long RFC, there's something called soft line breaks. The quoted printable encoding requires that encoded lines be no more than 76 characters long, because those 80 character terminals, we do not want them overflowing, okay? Because we all use 80 character terminals, right? Right? So to get back to the equal sign, effectively you have a very long line in email. Well, every 76 characters by the RFC, we need to break it so that it can be this beautiful quoted printable character, right? To fit in these 80 column terminals. So this one line, you could imagine, could actually have to be overflowed quite a few times before you actually make it to the end. And how they did the soft break is they would insert an equal sign, a /R, and a /N. That stands for carriage return and line feed. Yes, printer terms. And of course, the reason being, why do you have /R and /N? The common knowledge is that back in the 70s and 80s, all these different operating systems, they weren't friends. Unix wanted to use /N, which is objectively correct. Mac, the old classic Mac, wanted to use /R. And of course, MS-DOS being the unique one, it wanted /R/N, the old registered nurse. And that's why all the old internet protocols such as HTTP and this one and many more all use the old registered nurse for line separation. Okay, so why is there equal sign? You're still saying none of this actually answers why there's equal signs. I mean, it's strange. Why do we do this? Why do we put in these encoded characters just to take them out? Well, there's a lot of old hardware out there running old software, and if you don't provide the right stuff, you could get some bad email coming through. But it still does not explain why. Why an equal sign, and why even more so, more importantly, is some of these letters disappearing in favor of an equal sign. So the first thing you need to understand is a lot of these documents were automatically processed programmatically. And a lot of that programmatic happened on the old Windows machine. And a lot of the Windows machine with text and binary mode file I/O happens to have an underlying method called set mode. And if you pass in the right parameters to set mode, carriage return line feeds, CRLFs, the old registered nurses that I was talking to you about earlier, those combinations are translated into a single, which is also correct, line feed character upon input. So Unix did win eventually. That means these programmatically redacted and processed documents likely got piped through, and then they were converted into this, an equal sign /N, which then the T would be followed up next. So it'd be equal sign /NT. Now again, this does not answer the question, why is the equal sign still around? Well, there's this excellent article called What's Up With All Those Equal Sign Anyways, which goes on and attempts to explain what was going on. Now, it turns out this person who had tons of experience in these old line feed processing algorithms says a lot of the decoders do a 2-pass processing for emails. The first pass goes on and looks for any of the registered nurses and then just removes those. Joins the lines, now they're back to their original shape. The second pass goes through and looks for an equal sign and then a hex code. When encountering the /NT, it goes, I don't know what to do, so it does the only reasonable fallback to do. Just remove these 2 characters and leave the old equal sign intact. Yes, what a wonderful fallback mechanism. Makes perfect, like if I was a programmer, that's what I would do. So as you can see right here, confidential, wow, oh my gosh, did you see the straightness of that line? That was incredible, okay? I expect at least 3 comments congratulating me on the pure, unadulterated, smooth line I just wrote right there. Anyways, confidential, you can see exactly what would happen then. D, E, N, Oh my gosh, we got to put in the old registered nurse with the equal sign. Forgot that right there. Confidential. All right, we got it. Oh man, Windows processing. We go into the equal sign /n, then the T. Oh crap, this is just bad hex encoding. We leave that, and what do we get after that? DEN equal IAL, which is exactly what you see here in the documents. These equal signs. Apparently, people were on the internet like, dude, this is actually just another encoded signal. I bet if we can decode all these equal signs, we will figure out where Jeffrey Epstein's been hiding all this time, okay? Pizzagate's real and Jeffrey Epstein did not, in fact, kill himself. He's off playing Fortnite. It's always shocking to discover how much of our life is predicated based on some weird 90s text processing algorithm. I mean, it wasn't until just recently that HTTP 1.1, which has origins back into the 80s, was replaced by a more modern binary encoding version of it, vastly improving the processing of the internet. It only took like 30 some years. All right, I just wanted to yap about that. It feels good, okay? It's very, very funny. And honestly, anytime I can make fun of Microsoft, it just makes my day. Oh man, Satya, we got you. But honestly, just to be completely fair, there was a small chance that the Epstein files were in fact not on somebody's desk. They are actually in a version control system known as Git, and they just happen to have auto CRLF on, which will convert any CRLF into just a LF, the old line feed. You know what I'm talking about? Honestly, classic debacle right there. The name is Girl, Let Me Show You My Microsoft. Jen. Hey, is that HTTP? Get that out of here. That's not how we order coffee. We order coffee via SSH, terminal.shop. Yeah, you want a real experience? You want real coffee? You want awesome subscriptions so you never have to remember again? Oh, you want exclusive blends with exclusive coffee and exclusive content? Then check out Cron. You don't know what SSH is? Well, maybe the coffee's not for you.
Terminal coffee in hand.